Yes, it is.
Indeed.
Hello, I'm Tan, and this is Charlie. Say hello, Charlie.
Hello.
And we'd like to welcome you to the Voice of the Youth workshop. Those of you here this weekend from Collective Youth Chorus will recognise Charlie as one of the founder members, and this weekend he's back to say hi. So do come along at the end of our session. We're going to have a Zoom room open where both Charlie and myself will be around to chat and answer any questions that you might want to ask. But for now, let's get stuck in because we have much to do. When we're singing as youths, we often give little thought about our future voices. And I can remember getting terribly frustrated at chorus rehearsals with warm-ups because they felt really tedious and boring, and frankly nobody ever explained what their purpose was, so I've really never got the point of them. Charlie, do you do lots of warm-ups at college?
From time to time, but usually I get the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, so nobody explains what they're for.
Not particularly.
No, okay. So I never got the point of them, and if we're taken through warm-ups without any sort of understanding as to what they're doing, it's easy to just be completely blind to their benefits. But a voice is for life, not just a few years. So we need to get into the good practice of looking after it so that it looks after us, and particularly for Charlie, because Charlie, what do you do?
I do a songwriting course for college, a level 3 diploma. I'm in my second year, and that includes writing a lot of songs, funnily enough, which also includes a lot of singing. So I have to be very careful quite often.
So when you're next in a loud environment, and I'm talking to Charlie and everybody else, so when you're next in a loud environment and you find yourself shouting to be heard over the music, because these loud places normally involve music and dancing, would I be right?
Yeah.
Maybe. When you feel that fatigued burn in your vocal folds or your throat area, it's actually damage that you're feeling. So, you know, when you've been shouting all night so that your friends can hear what you're saying, or if you've just been singing loudly as you've been at a party and the music's been loud and you've been competing with it. Yeah, it's the damage you're feeling, the same way that you might feel a pulled muscle, for example, from leaping around too much on the dance floor and, you know, checking out your new moves. But when you do this too much, it can result in quite serious vocal problems. And it can affect you for a long time. And when this happens, you can be put or enforced onto like voice rest. Just like sports people, so footballers who damage tendons or maybe pull a muscle in a match, they might find themselves out for the rest of the season. So vocal rest are not words that any of us want to hear as singers. And if we get into good habits now, hopefully we won't ever hear them. So warm-ups begin with the body. And it's quite clear that I'm no yoga master or Pilates specialist, but I do understand the connection between stretching and tension release. Tension is probably the main culprit for most vocal issues. So before we go any further, let's try and get rid of the body of any tensions that we might be holding in our bodies from whatever's happened during the day. Tension can be caused by physical things or emotional responses to stress. So yeah, we can be quite stressed if we've got like something important coming up, maybe an exam. So, Charlie, are you ready to get physical?
Oh, yes.
Let's make sure we're sitting in a neutral position. So not too far back on the chair. Sit on the bones of your bottom and try not to slump. So feet flat on the floor. I'm going to do it with you because otherwise it doesn't feel right. Yep, try not to slump. We've got a tendency these days to be hunched over computers like this with rounded shoulders and keyboards, or more, our phones. Okay, so we're constantly looking down and it all causes bodily tension. So the first step to singing is to reduce that and get rid of it. So we're going to start with some really gentle individual shoulder rolls, please, Charlie. So if we start with the right shoulder, and what I'd like you to do is I don't want great big rolls, just gentle rolling of the shoulder. Okay, nice and slowly. And while you're doing it, Charlie, can I ask you to notice what your breath's doing as we do them?
Well, as my shoulder comes up, I'm breathing in. And when it comes back down, I'm breathing out.
Brilliant. Good. So what I want you to make sure, let's change shoulder, otherwise we'll be lopsided. So what I'd like you to make sure you don't do is hold your breath. Okay, there's a tendency for some people during some of these exercises to hold your breath. It's important that I'm fully aware of what's happening for Charlie, and as Charlie has his lessons online, I can't always see what's happening. So when this is the case, I'll ask. Obviously in the studio, it's much easier to see if people are holding their breath, or even if they look like they're guarding. And guarding is where somebody might be holding their body in a particular way to protect an area of pain. So if somebody's maybe got a sore shoulder or a pulled muscle or hormonal aches, I can see this and then check in with them, because we don't want any tension. So if they're moving in a way that's creating tension, we need to modify that or adapt it or find out what the problem is. It's also important for any singing teacher working with young voices to have an awareness of the voice development of young people and how to manage these, because the voice is affected differently at different stages, and young people's voices have quite specific needs depending where they are in their development. But this is a whole other workshop, and Dr. Geneva has got this covered in her session, so please go along and have a listen to it. So Charlie, back to these exercises. Don't hold your breath through any of the stretches, and let me know if anything hurts or feels uncomfortable. So while keeping your shoulders relaxed and facing forward, I would like you to take your head very, very slowly to the right. The purpose of this is not to see how far you can make your head rotate. It's just to stretch and just release any tension around the neck. So let's go. I'll do it with you. Over to the right, and just feel that nice stretch. Like I say, don't overstretch at all. And to the centre, nice and slowly. Good, excellent. And over to the left. Just notice any tension that you do have being released with those stretches. Back to the centre. We're going to do this twice more. Okay, so over to the right again, nice and slowly. Good, excellent. And to the middle. And to the left. And you can see that Charlie's moving quite freely. To the centre again, Charlie. Good stuff. To the right. And to the centre, and the last time now to the left. Good, excellent, and to the centre. Okay, so keeping your shoulders facing forward and your head in a nice position. So we're sat with our feet flat on the floor and nice straight back. Good, excellent stuff. So now I'd like you, without moving your shoulders, to just take your right ear down to your right shoulder. Obviously not all the way, because that would be impossible, because you'd snap your neck. So I just want you just to take it so that you've got a gentle stretch, and you'll feel that stretch all along the side here. It's quite nice. Okay. That's it. Can you feel the stretch?
Yeah.
Excellent. And up to the centre again. And left ear to left shoulder. This is where mine goes clonk. And to the centre. We're going to do that 2 more times each side. So to the right. Good. And up. And to the left. How's that feeling?
Pretty good.
Okay, and to the centre. One more time. Keep breathing all the time. Don't hold your breath at all. Up to the centre. And last time to the left. And up to the centre. Okay, now take your left arm and I would like you to put your left arm to your shoulder gently, okay? And then I'd like you to support your just above your elbow and just put a little bit of tension there so that you're stretching this part of your arm. Can you feel that? It's a nice stretch.
It does feel good.
Yeah. So just just enjoy that stretch. Kind of an area that we don't necessarily always stretch, isn't it? Okay, and what we're going to do is release that and take to the other side. So exactly the same on the other side. I have a disappearing arm.
Oh no, that's not good. How are we going to do? Oh.
I'd rather have a disappearing tummy than a disappearing arm, to be fair. Okay, and just release. So did you feel that you were holding your breath at all then, or were you okay? You kept the breathing going?
Kept the breathing going.
Good, well done. So what I'd like you to do now is, this is my favourite stretch. So put your arms in front of you and interlock your fingers. Okay, put them towards the screen, and then what I want you to do is drop your head and roll into it. Roll your back into that stretch. So use your hands to pull yourself forward and get that nice stretch. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that good?
That feels really good.
Okay, so while we're stretching here, okay, you can come up now. Or you can stay there while I talk if you want to. It is a nice stretch. So while you're doing that stretch, you're stretching the back and the intercostal muscles, and these are located between your ribs, and we need them to be free from tension so that they can do their job in helping the ribs move freely and therefore supporting our breathing, which supports our sound. All makes sense? Okay, so arms up. Excellent. And what I'd like you to do now is almost like you're climbing, but your feet aren't following suit. And nice and slowly, Charlie, with this one, I want you to feel the stretch in your ribs, along the side of your ribs, and in your waist. Can you feel that?
Oh yeah.
That's another nice one. Okay, now just put your arms up. Okay, and reach up a bit more. Now very carefully and slowly bring your arms down to the side. Okay, but keep your chest where it is. Perfect, excellent. And just to make sure that we've got rid of all of that tension, I want you to raise your shoulders up towards your ears. And then they're going to fall like you're shrugging, like you're going, ugh. All right, so on the count of 3, this is going to be a great time lapse. 1, 2, 3. Very good, that's not too bad actually. Okay, and one more time. Scrunch them up and then let them fall. Good, excellent stuff. So that's our seated stretching. Now we'd probably do some more if we were either stood up, but I know Charlie doesn't have a lot of room with his his ears in, so while he has his ears in, we're going to leave it there. In the studio we'd do some ragdolls, so we'd go down and then roll up, just to make sure that the whole body's involved. Okay, now have a drink. I'm going to do the same. Oh, it's the moving desk. Have you got a drink there, Charlie?
Yep, got a drink. I've just got a...
Perfect. So it's really important to stay hydrated, always, 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 always. As singers, we must stay hydrated. Not just during a lesson or when you've got a rehearsal or when you're singing in your bedroom or when you've got your hairbrush out and you're performing. We all do it. We all do it. Okay, but the saying goes, if you're feeling thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So how do you know if you're properly hydrated? Any ideas, Charlie?
Not really sure, no.
Okay, so what you put in has to come out. So pay attention to what comes out. Gross, I know, but pee clear. Clear or very pale yellow is a sign of good hydration. Dark yellow, not good, you're dehydrated. Okay, dark orange and brown, that's severely dehydrated, and you really, really, really need to be drinking a lot more. I've got a vibration function on my watch, and it's set every hour to remind me to have a glass of water. Actually, it's
Pretty
not.
cool.
It's not. It's a Fitbit, and it's actually set like that because it's reminding me to get up and move.
Oh,
But I use it as a hydration reminder. So I guess it kind of works both ways because
Yeah.
it gets me up and moving to the tap. And I do this because otherwise I'll drink nothing but coffee. And whereas coffee is fluid, it's arguably not the best type of hydration. And to those of you who are over 18, neither is alcohol, I'm afraid. It doesn't count. So, Charlie, do you feel like you're ready to start making some sounds?
totally ready.
Brilliant. For our vocal warm-up, we're going to start with some SOVT, or semi-occluded vocal tract training. And SOVT is it's a clever way of saying a partially closed opening, in this case the mouth and lips. So we're going to do some SOVT into water. How do we do this? Well, the very expensive and sophisticated equipment is going to be demonstrated beautifully here by Charlie. Can we see your bubbling device? Look at that. It's so expensive and sophisticated. Beautifully demonstrated, beautifully. So it's literally a water bottle or a glass, any vessel that can contain water. This is mine. This is the one that I use. I got this in Vegas when I went to Vegas one year. So, and the straw, any straw will do. But if you've got one that's kind of like, you know, a thick milk cup, a thick milkshake straw. So a thick milkshake straw diameter is probably best for what we're looking to achieve for the singing we do. Okay, we don't need to do anything expensive. You can go and buy a £30 straw, but it's not really going to make any more difference than this. Okay, so any straw that you can get, or let me find one, or a pen. Take the innards out of a pen and use a pen. That's just as good. Don't be bought into the marketing of expensive things. You really don't need them. When we use the straw in water, we're creating two-way air pressures going through a valve, and the valve being the vocal folds, okay? So we create a pressure that's similar to massage. So if you imagine air travelling one way, being met by one way, and air being met travelling in the opposite direction, you've got a nice gentle little air massage happening. So by default, we're giving our vocal tracts a gentle physical warm-up that's not totally dissimilar to going for a swim. So when we go for a swim, we work out our muscles, but the water supports our body, so it doesn't really feel like we're doing anything. When we use SOVT with the use of water, because of the two-way air pressure we create, it supports the vocal tract while we're working it and preparing it to be at its best to start singing. Just in the same way that we've released tension by our few physical warm-ups, the SOVT is doing similar for our voice. There's a huge amount of information about SOVT out there, so please go and take a look at the science. It's really interesting, and it's great first aid for the voice. If you take nothing else away, SOVT, grab any glass, bottle and a straw and give it a go. I can't begin to tell you how the results that you get from it. Charlie, How did you feel after your first experience of bubbling?
I felt very refreshed and I felt like I could take on the world.
Vocally take on the world.
Oh, yes, yes.
Perfect, perfect. So we can use it to prepare the voice and get our support systems to work. And the support system is our breathing, which is like the engine to all vocalised sounds when we're singing. And that happens because the water gives us extra pressure to work against, and therefore it engages the abdominal muscles as well. So it just does so many things in one go. It can correct so many vocal issues due to tension creeping in, and it's a great first aid for a fatigued voice. So when you feel any tension, grab your bubbling device and sing through areas that are causing you problems 2 or 3 times, and then repeat them with just your voice. I can almost guarantee that it will be easier. People who use their voice all day, think of teachers, lecturers, politicians, frontline workers, they'll all benefit from using the SOVT and water method because it resets their voice. So when you find yourself in a position of not being able to rest vocally, so you might be at a convention or just doing lots and lots of singing at school or in your choirs, when you find yourself in that position and you can't rest, make sure you've got a straw handy. They fold up, you can pop them in your pocket, and there you go, vocal rehabilitation. Okay, so Charlie, can we take a bubble through the song that you've chosen to do, please?
Of course, sure.
So just bubble, nice and gently bubble. Gentle is a word I use a lot with Charlie. Charlie puts everything into everything that he does. So we're just on a calm down.
Yes.
Yeah, just nice and chilled bubbling, please.
I shall try.
And at this point, I put myself on mute, which you might be rather happy about.
Okay. I've got a bit of a... You won't be able to hear this, but I've got a little instrumental lined up just to keep me in tune and such. So here we go. Oh, it's Friday I'm in Love by The Cure. An absolute banger, if I do say so myself.
The collective youth will be very familiar with this one.
Oh, yes. Wow. And again. Ooh. Down, 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 down. And there we
Thank you
have it.
very much, Charlie.
No problem.
So when Charlie's bubbling through, I'm listening to areas where he can develop his voice, and I start thinking about the craft that I might put in place that's going to help him. So now he's bubbled through, and I'll listen again as Charlie sings the song. Charlie's been singing and performing for several years, and as he's already said, is attending a music and performance college. So I tend to jump straight in with technical work, but today we're going to keep it more generalised. Okay, so Charlie, if you could sing it for me now, please.
No problem. Do 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 bam 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 ba da 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 dan dan ba da 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 dan dan da da dan dan bam da 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 dan dan ba da 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 dan da 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 bam ba da 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 dan dan da 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 dan dan da 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 dan. I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's grey and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you, it's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart. Oh, and Thursday doesn't even start, it's Friday, I'm in love. Saturday, wait, and Sunday always comes too late, but Friday never hesitate. I don't care if Monday's black, Tuesday, Wednesday, heart attack, Thursday, never looking back, it's Friday, I'm in love. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-down. Do 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 do. Ba 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 ya ba. Ba chicka ja ba ba ba. Bow now 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 now. Monday you can hold your head. Tuesday, Wednesday, stay in bed, or Thursday, watch the walls instead. It's Friday, I'm in love. Saturday, wait, and Sunday always comes too late, but Friday never hesitate. Dressed up to the eyes, it's a wonderful surprise to see your shoes and your spirits rise. Throw out your frown and just smile at the sound. Sleek as a chic, spinning round and round. Always take a big bite, it's such a gorgeous sight to see you eat in the middle of the night. You can never get enough of this stuff. It's Friday, I'm in love. I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's grey and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you, it's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart. Oh, and Thursday doesn't even start, it's Friday, I'm in love. There we have it.
Thank you very much. Do you know what? That ends really abruptly when you can't hear the background music.
Yeah.
It really does. It's weird. Every time I'm like, oh yeah, it's done now.
And of course there's the little outro bit, which is a bit strange, but
Yes.
woo! But
The bit that you're not going to do.
The bit that I'm not going to do in order to not embarrass myself, but I just have by explaining what it is.
So you can hear that Charlie has a yodel quality that he uses as a tool to approach his register jumps, which is, it's kind of both stylistic and a tool, but we can work through these to strengthen support through placement of higher ranges so that Charlie has a wider palette of choice to use in his toolkit. Now Charlie's getting really good at this now, and it's something that we've been working on a lot for quite a while. Would you agree?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're demonstrating really, really well the work that we've done. What I want to do is go through a process to help with placement and keeping the clarity throughout your range, and it's particularly helpful for keeping the upper range tension free. And it helps you to manage those phrases that require the vocal gymnastics, or where the notes jump around a lot. So what I want you to do first is get your, here we go with the SAVT again. So if you can get your bubbling device, Charlie, and we're going to do this on an A. I'm going to sing it because if I bubble it, it will cancel the sound out and you won't hear me. So I need you to hear. So we're going to go. And I want you to do it 4 times. So, ooh, and I want you to do it really slowly and make the slide count. So 1, 2, 1. Okay.
Got you. Okay.
Now we're going to go. Ooh. So 1, 3 this time. Ooh. Okay. Saturday, wait. Okay, so we've got that 1, 4 there. So, and then we're going to do 1, 5. Ooh. 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 Nice and slowly. Ooh. So the whole octave now. Good. So what I'd like you to do now is do that again, but we're going to start singing it through on vowels.
Okay.
Okay, but we're not going to do each step because we'll be here for another hour. Okay, so what we're going to do. Ooh, so the same as what I've been doing. That's terrible English. The same vowel as me. So an oo vowel. Good. Okay, we've got a bit of cutting out here, but that's fine.
Ooh.
So we're going to do that one again, Charlie, but I'm going to ask you just to lift.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. We've got back into computer mode. So.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. So the whole octave now, please. Okay, what I'd like you to do with this one, Charlie, is make sure that your head doesn't go up as your note goes up. Okay, so support with your abdominals and don't reach for it physically, reach for it from down here. You can't see that, but down from
Down,
your
down.
tummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
Good, good, really, really good. Okay, so that's part of the process. So first we've bubbled through it, this exercise. Then we've added an ooh into the exercise. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to change the vowel. So we're going to go ah, and I want you to slide all the notes in between. I want them slid still on an ah.
Okay.
Really good. Can you do that again, Charlie, and just control the air at the beginning so that we don't
Yeah.
get that glottal?
Of course, sorry.
That's all right. Don't be sorry. Good, good. How's that feeling?
Yeah, felt good.
We're gonna jump to 1/8. Ah, nice and slowly, so that you're trying to keep. The aim is to try and keep the sound sounding the same. That makes sense?
Yeah,
Okay, so really support with your abdominals and keep the tone in the same place.
Okie dokes.
Okay. Make it more of an R, like gra. How do you say grass?
Grass.
R. Yeah, not grass. You were saying ah.
No, you don't say grass. Okay, cool.
No.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, did you see how you modified and you changed that? So the last one, you had the same space that you were singing through for the you changed, you went from and then you went to
Yeah.
Did you feel it?
Yeah.
Because we could see it.
I noticed that I was doing the bad thing and not using my abdominals. And so I was
But do you know what? The fact that you modified it and you changed it to make it more comfortable and to make it sound right is testament to the amount of work actually that you put in, Charlie. So I know how hard Charlie works. It's great. He's great. Okay, but I am going to make it more difficult because we're going on to the next step of it. So very rarely do we get the opportunity to slide like that. If we do, we're usually in a barbershop chorus and we're called baritones. But yeah, it's quite rare to get those nice slides that give us those opportunities. So what we're going to do now is we're going to change it to a
okay, cool.
no glossal.
No, okay.
Okay, let's do that one on an ooh. Ooh. and support with your abdominals one more time.
Right.
That's all right. Don't be sorry. Okay, and now the last one. You got this. Good job. Did you feel your abdominals kick in on the third one?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, brilliant. So these are the kind of exercises that we go through to then make something easier and to develop skills. So when we go through these processes, it's really important to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, because there's no point blindly following an exercise without knowing what it's for and how you're developing it. Charlie and I have done, like I say, quite a lot of work on his higher registers and transitioning into the higher register. So Charlie's kind of used to this style of working, maybe not quite as bombarded as quickly as that. So now I'm going to ask Charlie to sing through the song again, and let's ask him to think about his options during the song, because he may well decide to keep the style that he's already using, or he might be brave and try and add some of these things that we've just worked on into it. But either way, we'll check in with at the end with him to see how those jumps felt physically. Have a drink first, Charlie, please.
I'll do, yeah, sorry. All ready? Ready to rock and roll. Oh, you knew it was coming. Can you tell I'm out of music college? I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's grey and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you, it's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart. Oh, Thursday, it doesn't even start, it's Friday, I'm in love. Saturday, wait, and Sunday always comes too late, but Friday never hesitate. I don't care if Monday's black, Tuesday, Wednesday, heart attack, Thursday, never looking back, it's Friday, I'm in love. Bow, down, 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 bow. Monday, you can hold your head. Tuesday, Wednesday, stay in bed. Or Thursday, watch the walls instead. It's Friday, I'm in love. Saturday, wait, and Sunday always comes too late, but Friday never hesitate. Dressed up to the eyes, it's a wonderful surprise to see your shoes and your spirits rise. Throw out your frown and just smile at the sound. Sleek as a chic, spinning round and round. Always take a big bite, it's such a gorgeous sight to see you eat in the middle of the night. You can never get enough of this stuff. It's Friday, I'm in love. I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's grey and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you, it's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart. Oh, Thursday doesn't even start. It's Friday. I'm in love.
Very good, Charlie. Charlie, how did that feel?
That felt phenomenal because of
It
all of that
sounded really great.
stuff that we've done. It just felt brilliant.
Good, good. So, were those higher runs easier, more
They
comfortable,
were,
or just
yeah.
different?
I think they were definitely easier because of the warm ups we did. It was less taxing on my actual vocals, which was brilliant.
Good, good, excellent. So, like I say, Charlie's been working on this and doing a really, really grand job of it. And thank you so much for coming and being my guinea pig for the Voice of the Youth workshop.
No problem
So,
at all.
what I need to say now is after a rehearsal, or if you're at convention and you've been really busy singing, please remember after you've been singing to cool down. And the best way to cool down is your bubbling device. Okay, so just have a little bubble and that will reset your voice and remove any tensions, and you'll find that you will then be able to carry on and you won't feel that vocal fatigue that you can feel after you've done a heavy singing session. Now, most lessons with me are only 30 minutes unless somebody is is a more experienced singer. So Charlie's kind of at the stage, because he's doing a lot of singing at college, he could vocally cope with a long lesson. But most people, 30 minutes is long enough. Okay, and what I tend to do is teach people how to use the bubbling device, and then normally they would come to their lesson pre-warmed up. Okay, so the kind of physical and the first part of a warm up, they've normally gone through that process. I know Charlie always comes warmed up, don't you?
Yep.
Because you're a great student. There we go. So Charlie and I are now probably already in a Zoom room.
What?
I know.
That's crazy.
It's
I'm
ages
two
away.
places At once.
It's ages away, but we are going to be in a Zoom room somewhere. I don't know which way we're going to be, but please do come and join us. And if you just want to come and say hi, you probably want to come and say hi to Charlie more than me, especially if you're a youth member. Just come and say hi. And if you've got any questions to ask of me or of Charlie, then now's the time to do it. And Charlie, would you like to do a little plug on the things that you're doing?
I would love to. For those who are not in the know, which I wouldn't blame you for, I do music, obviously, at college, but I also release it. It's under Charlie Penn on Spotify. That's Charlie, Charlie, and Penn spelt Penn. And of course, I also have an Instagram to keep you up to date with that kind of stuff, which is Charlie Penn Official. Feel free to give it a follow and feel free to listen to my stuff. Thank you very much.
Yeah, do pop along, go and have a listen and share him. And all new artists need lots of people sharing them and promoting them. So yeah, if you feel inclined and you've enjoyed our workshop, please do that. Okay, and we'll see you in the Zoom room now. Now.
Now?
Now.
Now?
Now.
Now.
See you in there.
Bye.